we have a Cort CEC5 NAT on the bench, a nice little electro-acoustical guitar, and the reason why the string is flopping about is because Georgie girl wants to play with it. But that doesn't matter because those strings are all going to be ripped off. Now, we have a couple of issues with the guitar, nothing major. Strings obviously need to be replaced because some of them are quite rusty, but it's well played, so it must be just through use. Now, one of the things the owner has mentioned to me is that, let me zoom in, the back string is cutting into the back of the bridge. Now, when I look closely at that, I see that whoever fixed it last time put a little plastic plug in. Can I show you what I'm saying? Right, okay. So whoever fixed it last time put a little plastic plug in. And naturally the plastic plug is going to wear away. I'm not saying that's a bad job, it's just a good temporary fix, but you've got a situation where you have to put something in solid there, and you have to put something in solid that's going to last. And as you can see from, let me put it under the light here. You can see, hold on, light focus. I think you can see there that it's cut away. That'd have been much better if it had been something more solid. The difficulty is he's drilled a little hole, and he's done a very good job. Whoever fixed this bit here, why that's in a V shape, maybe that was part of the drilling process. So there's a couple of ways to sort this out. What can you find that is that size and made of a sterner material? And the only thing I can think of is maybe something metal. But there's another way we can fix this depending on what the owner wants to do. He was suggesting taking the bridge off, but the bridge is perfectly good. Hopefully we don't have to do that because it does make a mess. No matter how good you are, there's always something of a mess around the edges and all that. Might make it look awful. Well, not awful, but a bit crappy looking. So what could be done is that drill right through, put a very solid wooden plug in, then drill it through again for the string. That's messy. Well, we'll look at other options on this. Anyway, not fix it now, but that's one of the problems. The other thing is a buzz in the A string. Now, I've tested this, and I can't hear the buzz no matter what I do, even with my hearing aids in. Right? But what I have heard is when I mute the strings, I do hear a little echo, but not much. So finding a buzzing string that's not buzzing too badly is difficult. It might be the strings because the strings are really in bad condition. The action at the top end is extremely low. It's actually perfect, what I would call perfect for an electric guitar. But this is an electroacoustic guitar. It's a little bit high there. You can see the state of the strings. A little bit high, just a fraction high there, and you can see the state of the strings there, right? But the fraction high, and the neck is 100% straight. So I might be tempted to put a tiny bit more, just a tiny bit of bow in it, which will take that away, bring that up slightly. Yeah, okay, right, so this is one of these mystery ones that I've got to fiddle. This is the one that's the most important, getting this sorted out. It might be best filling the whole thing with epoxy right up to the chunk, right up to the hole, mixed with a little bit of wood dust for colour. Maybe not, maybe just solid epoxy, and then drill a whole new hole through. But how will epoxy hold over time on a nylon string? Right, magnifying glasses on. What do I got here? Obviously that you can see the marks that this string has been jumping around, and the same applies to the other strings. that's not a problem, but on the wire wound strings it's creating a new hole for itself. So I think they need to be filed down slightly for the settling of the wood, because you don't want that swinging back and forth like that. And the fact that it's not settled might be a problem, so we'll see if we can sort that out. Right, I'm going to check the fret leveling of this little Cort Classical Electro-Acoustical Guitar. But before I do, I've changed my mind completely about all this because I don't like any of the temporary fixes. Only one real way to do it, and I'll show you that at the end of this short video. Okay, so back to fret leveling. You need a little tool like that, so you can put that on your frets and wobble it back and forth. If it's silent, you're lucky. That means the frets from there to there are all the same size. Right? You do that every way that. Now, what you're hearing there is a little tap, because this fret is higher than those two. So if you press the string down on that, you might end up with a buzz sound from that. But don't get too excited. It's a very simple fix. That's silent, that's not. So that part of it's higher than that part, and so that's okay, but that's not, and that's not. So you'll be sanding away a little bit of the metal there. No, because it's breaching 4 frets, you see there. You turn it to the next size and you do that test. Same test. Only breach 3 frets. Breach any more than 4, you're wasting your time. A little bit there, a little bit there. No, actually that's quite good. Oh no, wrong. You have to do it right across the guitar. Now we're going down to a narrower fret, so we bring it down to that. Yeah. So that fret's high there, and high there, but low in the middle. No, it's actually low in one tiny spot, right? High across. So as you can see, what I'm doing now just tells me. Now let's move it to the 3 fret. It just tells me that the frets need leveled. Now there are fancy ways to fret level. You can go mad. You can get a very expensive leveling tool the whole width of the neck and do it that way. A little bit there, a little bit there. But what I do, and what a lot of people do, is use a straight edge sanding block. This one's a bit rough at the moment. And you gently go that way and up and that way. I'm not doing this. This is just at the moment I'm just showing you. Now you do that gently several times, and then you test again, and you test again, and you test again, until you get a pretty good neck leveling the whole way across. I'm not pressing at the moment, but I would press when I'm actually going to do this. And I'm just showing you what I do. Some people have the big long sanding block, which I don't have. It costs hundreds of pounds, and I'm not going to do that. And then you do the whole neck at once. But this works just as well. This works just as well. You can use there's 4 different types of sandpaper strength. But what I will use is probably, I'll put more sandpaper on that. I'll probably use 600 first, and then afterwards I'll not use the block, but I'll polish it up with 1500 or 2000 afterwards, after it's been leveled. That needs to be done, and that might affect the A buzzing. The best solution to your problem long term, I can make the bridge pretty again, but if you get these, what they're called classical diamonds, the string goes through the center hole, then it goes down in through the right hole and round the back and up through the left hole, and then you tighten it, and it traps the string inside. Now that would stop your bridge being damaged any further. Those little diamonds are sitting flat on the base of the guitar, on the wood. They don't affect the sound whatsoever. The sound is all from the bridge and from the wood at the end of the bridge. Well, we have a nice little Cort guitar, classical, electronic classical. It's got, you see a little green flashing light? That's because it's on tuning mode. And if you can tune it, I don't know, these strings are brand new. They're Peyton Stretton, a classical guitarist. He sells these strings. They're very good strings. Get them on Amazon. But this guitar came into me with a buzz on the A string. And it came into me, as you probably saw earlier, it was eating away at the back of the bridge, the strings. So we put in these little, what they call diamond string holders, and I am sold on them. They are excellent. They're very easy to string, much easier than a normal classical, but also don't affect the sound at all, because all the sound comes from the bridge and a little bit from that bit of wood. So it makes no difference, because the string is touching the wood there, and wrapping it around again doesn't make any difference to the sound. Also, the whole, I've leveled the frets, because there was a little bit of unevenness about them, polished the frets. You probably saw that previous video. But it goes out of tune quickly because they're brand new nylon strings. Let's just test them again. In tune. In tune. No. In tune. In tune. No. Goes out of tune so quickly. Right. Now, I'm no guitarist. I'm no classical guitarist, but I love the sound of this. I'll put on the amplifier. It has treble tones and bass tones. It can go very noisy. But I prefer it acoustic. So the owner can come and get it anytime he wants. I would definitely recommend, if anybody's interested in doing this with their own acoustic guitar of any type that goes through the back bridge like that, to get 2 sets of those. They're only £9 each, but they could get lost and then you'd be stuck. So there you go. Come and get your little Cort.